Good morning folks, and welcome to part 2 of the Bush SRP31C. I'm hoping this is going to be pardon my t-shirt, I'm hoping this is going to be the final part, because I hope to have it playing a record by the end of this part, and it's 6 o'clock in the morning. I've just got up and the sun's trying its best. We had a bit of rain, a couple of minutes of rain earlier. So what we'll do, we'll pull the Garrard auto change out of this. It's got the 210 in this. We'll pull the 210 out, and well, yeah, I will sprinkle some magic dust and get it serviced and back into full operational order. Anyway, let's turn back to the record player. Wrong way. There we go. And I shall be back in the blink of an eyelid. Oops. After I knock all my shit everywhere. I shall be back in the blink of an eyelid. Right, we're back. Like I said, in the blink of an eye, or the blink of an eyelid, we are back, and we are going to service and clean this unit. So we need a cloth, and we need some detergent, and we also have the usual lubricants like oil and grease. And before I start, I'm going to remove the cartridge, although there's no, there we go, although there's no stylus in this, because I just think it's good practice. Right, and I think we might need an extra stylus connector for this. So I want to do a nice job on them anyway. They look like they were, they don't look nicely done, and they all look like they're joined together, to be honest. So yeah, we'll do a nicer job on those and sort that out better. And what it actually is, we'll put that in there for now. Put the tone arm back down. Right, so what we'll do first is the first thing I always do is remove the turntable. Let's get my screwdriver. Right. There we go. Let's switch the mechanism on. Well, hang on. With these, because they're not like a taper, it can be a problem actually, get them off. I mean, there's no play in this one whatsoever. Usually you get a bit of up and down play in them, but in this one, let's see when, there we go. Usually in them you get enough up and down, a bit of up and down play. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the screwdriver just under it there, just slightly, and just, there we go. You might wonder why I use a brass hammer. There's a very good reason for using a brass hammer. Brass is thinner, brass is softer than steel. So therefore, when I clunk when I hit it, I don't cause any damage. That needs, that feels horrible. That needs to be done badly. Look at that. Let's check the rubber on the idler. the idler's gone hard. Just the outside of it, so that's okay. We can sort that. It's not a problem. We'll check the motor. Why is it the motors are never seized? You know, they must put different oil in them or something. Yeah, the Calaro motors do seize, or the ones in my tape recorder did. They were seized solid. I mean, is there any fibre washers on the bottom of that? Yes, there is. Don't want to lose the fibre washers. There we go. Next one is, next step is to clean it. If we clean it, then we know where we're up to. And look at the state of it, folks. It looks yuck, but hopefully when I'm done, it will look brand new. Now we're not worried about getting moisture into it, because by the time it gets reconnected, it will well and truly dried out anyway. Look at that. You know, this is going to really dirty my cloth. I might have to go and get another cloth. This is going to dirty my cloth in a big way. Look at that. Well done, I'll clean it with this cloth and then I'll go and get another one. But the nice thing about this is it's a nice deck. It's not got any rust or anything on it, and that's what you want to see, really. You know, rust free. I've got some clean cloths in the other room that came free with a radiogram I purchased. They just happened to be in there, so look at that. That cloth weren't that bad when I started. I mean, this is actually not a bad deck. I mean, Phil did say the turntable was a bit corroded, and it is. I've got a nice turntable for him to go on this. So, there we go. Get some of the old lubricant off while I'm at it. And this is what we do, really. Just, I mean, electronics is not all about using the soldering iron. Sometimes you have to do this as well. Well, if you want it looking good, you have to do this all the time. And I've only just started, and there's quite a way to go to cleaning this yet. A bit of corrosion on the inside there, but it's not an issue. That you won't see that when the turntable's in place, and it's probably, but this is actually quite a good. The other thing is not to disengage any springs, because then you don't have to wonder then where does that spring go. I mean, I know where they all go, but you know, for the novices out there, for those who don't know, try not to dislocate any springs when you're cleaning, because then you won't have the worry then of thinking, oh, where does that one go, if you haven't got the manual. I mean, I've got the service literature on these things, so I'm okay. But I can do them blindfolded. We'll get another clean cloth in a minute and go over it again. But I mean, this is it's a bit discoloured, this one, to be honest. It's not the nicest example I've seen, but it ain't bad either. I mean, I've seen them a lot worse. I mean, course it's discoloured, the thing's older than me, but once it's been polished up it'll look $1 million. You know, it's got a nice sort of patina to it, to be honest. It's not bad. I mean, I like them to be perfectly white if we can get them like that, but the speed mechanism works really well in this. It's that the speed mechanism isn't seized up at all. None of it is, you know, but it'll still go through the treatment, being lubricated, because it does need lubricating. It's dry as a bone, and I think that's why it hasn't seized up, because basically it's dry as a bone. You know, so this might be an example where it was well and truly used. You know, where it was used and all the lubricants wore off, so there's nothing left on it to seize up. Look at that, I've only just gone over it and it's already looking the dog's bollocks. Do you know something? Put that in a cardboard box and fucking put new old stock on it. Try and clean around the garage sign without breaking the badge. I've never broke one yet, so let's not let this be a first. Clean the top of the switches, as much of this crap off as I can. There we go. Clean around the back here. What I might do with this, I might replace the wires that go from this. The reason why I might do that is if it ever comes in again, which I'm hoping it won't. It shouldn't do when I've done them, but you don't know. Anything's possible. It's a shame about this control arm. Is a shame actually, because it's got oxidization on it, and I had a really nice one, but I haven't got it now because, you know, how often do you really need a control arm? But let's clean all this plastic, hold it together. Be careful with this plastic, it'll be very brittle, and get a bit of detergent onto the cloth and just hold the plastic together while you clean it. I mean, you're not going to get it absolutely mint, but you know, certain areas of the plastic will have discoloured. But we can but try. Let's check the weight thing, see if that, oh, the weight thing, the tone arm weight thing seems to adjust, well, sort of. Well, not quite, that'll need to be done, because it seizes up, so a bit of oil on that. It turns a couple of turns and stops, it should go the full range. There we go. We'll get the cotton buds out and we'll clean the outer fine reaches with the cotton buds, but we'll just get the main sort of shite off it to begin with. And be careful not to snap this fucking thing as well, because if you do, you'll be shiter out of luck. Because this determines the size of the records. If you snap that, you're fucked. And you can see where it's actually, where this is, you know, something's been here, because the arm's a different colour. Let's lock the arm down a minute, because the arm's a different colour. Now I want to try and bring that back so it's a uniform colour. But saying that, I'm not saying it will, but if all else was to fail, look at that, I've got a spare arm. So, but I'm hoping I'm going to be able to bring this one back so it's the same colour all the way along. Yeah, we've done it, we've got it back. Do the side of the arm now. You know, but when you're doing this, do it carefully. You know, I know the arm looks nice and chunky, but still do it carefully, because if you break apart, you're going to be struggling. I'm lucky, I've got spare, so I'm alright. But yeah, I mean, I could grab the arm and go, yeah, snap it off and not give a fuck, because I've got a spare. I'm not going to do that, obviously not, but if I was to damage the arm, I have got a spare, so I'm okay. But many people won't have a spare, so just be careful, you know. And if you're doing the work on behalf of someone else, whatever you do though, don't use isopropyl on here, because you'll take the model number and the line off. And you know, that's, you know, although it's not a disaster, a major one anyway, still wouldn't be nice to do that. So always just use a mild detergent, not something that'll strip the fucking enamel off your teeth, you know, like one of my farts. A little bit of right-handed action here now, considering I'm left-handed. Yeah, yeah, this Irishman goes for a job, and why not have a bit of fun while we're doing it, eh? This Irishman goes for a job, and the foreman says to him, he says, go over there and get me a wheelbarrow. So he goes over and he comes back with 2 wheelbarrows, one inside the other. He says, I only asked you for one. He says, I know, but you didn't think I was going to fucking carry it, did you? He says, he says, can you make tea? He says, yeah. He says, can you drive a forklift? He said, why, how big's the kettle? I love the Irish, I think they're brilliant. Great people, top. I didn't realise these switches were as dirty on the sides as what they are. They're actually, yeah, not very clean, but that's the state of affairs that we're about to do something about now. Get them as clean as we can. See, this is only the start of getting it clean. It's, you know, there's a lot of work, and I'd like to do something about this control arm. Let's just lock that tone arm down a minute, because that control arm, it's, although it's not the worst I've seen, I'd just like it to try and look a bit better. Let's clean this here. Whoops. You have to be careful around them plastic bits, because they're so brittle. I've not broken it. They're so brittle that a bit of extra undue force and, you know, could be a disaster. And these arms have to be lubricated as well, because they have got proper ball bearings in them. You know, they're not you know, we're not talking BSR quality here. I mean, these record players were fairly expensive. I think I bought one once. It came with the original price receipt in it, and I think it was about 32 quid or something fucking stupid back in the day, and that's a lot of money. That's a king's ransom today. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money in our money. It was a lot of money back then. I mean, it was a few weeks' wages. You know, when the average wage for, you know, when the average wage was, well, for a woman anyway, was £4 a week or something like that. I know that because my mum told me that, because that's what she used to earn. Get the cloth in there. There we go. Clean out any cavities. Speaking of cavities, could you imagine being called Film a Cavity? Wouldn't want that name, would you? You know. What I'd like to know is, why are they all called Thwaite in Yorkshire? You know, they're either called Braithwaite or fucking Postlethwaite. Could you imagine being called Postlethwaite? The teacher shouting you at school, "Hey, Postlethwaite, get here, you little bastard." There's just certain names that you hope you don't get, ain't they? You know. There really is a certain names that you're glad you never got, and you wouldn't wish them on anybody, no matter how much you hated somebody. There's just certain names you just wouldn't wish on anybody, ain't they? I mean, look at these fucking celebrities that give their kids stupid names, and what they don't realise is, until they're old enough to fucking make a decision for themselves and change the fucker, they're stuck with that. You know? Right. Give the rest a clean. Go. So you always start off by cleaning it. That way you don't end up with any shit going back into the mechanism. You know, so you don't end up with anything sounding grindy or graunchy, or there's certain areas you can't get to with a cloth, but I'll go over it. I'll go over them with a cotton bud, or for you Americans, a Q-tip. Right, well, we're not going to mess about with worrying about the turntable. Now let's get the replacement. Where did I put the fucking replacement? There's a thought. I've got a nice turntable to put on this. The issue is, where did I put the bastard thing? There it is. There we go. Yeah, that's a lot nicer than what's on there at the moment. But we'll give this a clean. And it doesn't matter about getting that one contaminated, because it ain't going back on it. Look at that. A nice fresh turntable with no corrosion on it. There we are. Nice and clean, fresh, ready to go on. So we'll put that, yeah, put that up here for now. Put that there for now. Right. Now, I was going to get the cloths out of the other room, but I don't need them. Now, where's the cotton buds? There they are. Get the old cotton buds. Do you know what this is, folks? I found this the other day. It belongs to a friend of mine around the corner. He asked me to repair it for him. He can't really do much, but it's a nice piece of audio sort of thing anyway. What that's for, you put it on your wind-up gramophone, and there's 3 colours in there. I think there's 3 colours in there. You view it through that hole, and it tells you whether your speed's correct, and there's a felt pad on the bottom. It tells you whether your speed's correct. It's for 78 only. He asked me to repair it for him. I stuck it back together, but it's been here ever since. It's made out of that shitty white metal fucking stuff. So, you know, and it's really soft, so I actually soldered it back together. But, now, cotton buds, back onto the job at hand. Cotton buds. Buds made out of cotton. Let's put the old giglets back on, and what we can do, we can get to the areas in this that we couldn't get to before. And I can use this turntable to spray some stuff into, to dip the cotton bud in, because we're not putting that turntable back on, because we've got a nice new one that we're going to use. Well, I say new, what I really mean is brand new second hand. Let's get a handful of these. These are cheap cotton buds out of Aldi, because I don't see the point of spending money on something I'm only going to throw in the bin. Like my dad used to buy the cheapest toilet paper, because he used to say he didn't see the point of wiping his ass on £5 notes. You know, which I suppose is a bit of a point there. I mean, just get into where you can't really usually get to. You know, with a cloth, and you can also dry it with the cotton bud as well. Just get into places where you wouldn't normally be able to get, you know, and you can get all the crap out. You know, it saves taking fucking parts off that don't need to fucking come off otherwise. I mean, you know, they should never really, unless it's really gummed up. Turn that. There we go. Give this a bit of a clean here, because this has got to be completely free, this part of the mechanism, because the arm hits it. As the arm travels across, it pushes that, and that's got to be as free as possible. I mean, on these they're not as fucking free as they are on, say, more modern units like the black BSR Monarchs and like the BSR Monarchs and later Garrards. They're not as free as what they are on them, but you know, so you have to have a slightly heavier weight. But you can get these to work at, you can get these to play at, I mean, these will, you know, with a decent cartridge in them, these will play at 3 grams. You know, they'll play all right at 3 grams. There's not really a great issue. I generally set them to about 4. But, you know, just to avoid any problems, you know, with someone saying, well, it sticks. You know, so rather than have anything like that happen, I set them to about 4, maybe 4.5, depending on what, like I say, it depends on what cartridge I'm going to fit. On this one, it's getting an SC12H. So I will actually set the weight accordingly for that particular cartridge, which is anywhere between like, I mean, you can get them to work at 3 grams, but anywhere between realistically 4 and 6 grams really. So I'll set it probably to 4.5, maybe 4, depending. You know, it depends on how well the mechanism actually works, how worn it is, it's, you know, how well you've lubricated everything. You know, it's a few different factors taken into it. I mean, I bought a record player the other week from the car boot sale. I paid top dollar for it as well, unusual for me. But somebody had super glued a penny to the arm. Not super glued, sorry. Blue tacked a penny to the arm. And the reason why they did that was because the actuator pole under the turntable, under the drive gear had got all gummed up. And rather than have it serviced, they found it was easier to blue tack a penny to the arm, you know, and I'm really against that sort of practice. I just think it's, you know, it's something I've never done. Something I'm never going to do either. I won't say never likely, because I know damn well I'm never going to do that kind of thing. But some people do. Stick a penny to it and then say, yeah, I fixed it. They haven't really. All they've done is stuck a penny to it. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, that's all they've done. Nothing special. Right. Well, that's the mechanism cleaned. As you can see, I can put my ashtray in that because we're no longer using that turntable, so it doesn't matter. And yes, before you all say, I know I've missed a bit, fucking hell. Someone's gonna fucking see me missed a bit. Not that you'd ever fucking spot it, but I know it's there, so. There we go. There we go. There we go, folks. This has sort of like got an off-white colour to it because of the age of it. Well, because of probably how it's been stored. But the thing is, I quite actually like it. I think the patina for that, I think that looks very, very good. And that's basically the mechanism. It's basically the deck cleaned, and I'm getting a wire stuck in me, and it's irritating when that happens. That's basically the deck cleaned. I'm going to make myself another coffee and have a smoking, and I'll be right back, folks. Yeah, so, you know, this is, oh, hang on. I know you're all going to say it, I know. Yeah, you're all going to say it. Look at that big bit you've missed down the back, I know. I nearly missed that, folks. That was what do you call it? I didn't have to get the extra cloth after all, did I? Just give it a wipe down there because that dirty fucking mess ran down there, and I've just cleaned all that. There we go. There we are. Look at that. Look at that, folks. You could eat your fucking dinner off it. I can't think why you'd want to, but you can. You know, if you were so inclined to use a fucking Garrard 210 for your dinner plate, then yeah, if you're going to use one, use this one. At least you know it's clean. Let's get that little bit on the back of the arm there. There we go. There's always somewhere where you miss. I mean, there's always little bits that you notice afterwards that you've missed. You know, and you think, fuck me. I'll tell you what, you know. Get a little bit on the top there. That lets the side down a bit, doesn't it? There we go. Just get the last bit of this detergent here. I'm going to have to try and find some more of that oxy stuff, you know, because it's not bad for cleaning decks. It stinks horrible, but saying that, so do my farts. But they're very effective. At least they are if you're stuck in a fucking post office waiting to fucking post a letter or send a parcel, and there's a fucking big queue of fucking people. You just let one go, what they call a queue shifter. You know, you let the fucker go and it fucking stinks to high heaven, and people just wander away. You know, I've done that a few times. Done a nice gassy fart in the post office and got some, it's a shame there's a scratch on that. I've not got another piece of trim, and even if I had, for one scratch, there's no way I'd go to that level. There we go. Right, it'll get a final clean before it goes in, but superficially, there we go folks, look at that. You know, it's even shiny, you can see your face, so you can eat your dinner off that. Well, you could be, you know, you wouldn't want to, would you? Because all your gravy would run down the holes. That's if you were having gravy, that is. Anyway, I'm gonna get a brew and a fag, and I'll be back. Right, let's carry on. What we have to do here is take this out, which is held in. First of all, let's just what I want to do, I want to get this clip out down here. There's a little clip in here. There's usually a bit of play in that, but in this one there isn't. And that's a bit worrying because I usually like the bit of play that's in there. Can't see the frigging clip, to be honest. There it is. A very, very, very tiny clip. And I think we might need to use the little picker to get it out. There it is. And it's probably seized in, it moved then. There we go. You have to get it to move at least once. And just, ow! Careful not to stick it in, you stick the tool in your finger, because it hurts. So now we'll get a screwdriver under there. Now see if we can get a screwdriver, just lever it up. There we go. Now the thing you want to watch out for with this, right underneath there, there's ball bearings. There's 5 ball bearings and they do fall out. They're not in a cage. They're not captive like the original, like the later ones. They just fucking roll out everywhere. So we'll be watching out for those. And very carefully get the clip off. So I'll be trying to do it as level as possible in a minute. So to get this clip off. You have to work your way around to get the clip off, because you don't want to stretch the clip because it's got to go back on. Gently ease the clip out like that. Put your hand over the top because it won't fly sideways because there's not enough room in the gap. There we go. Stop it flying up. That's actually got a bit more play in that now, so that actually needs to come up a little bit, and you can adjust that by the underneath, and we'll do that when we reassemble it, because that's supposed to have, that's got more play in it now, which means this has been pushed down. It didn't happen when I hit it, but it would have been pressed down at some time. So we'll move all this out of the way and very gently lift the, yeah, it's all dry as a bone, that. And there's 2 screws under there that you get to with a screwdriver, and you can actually lift the spigot up slightly to get a bit of clearance, which is what we want, because I do like a bit of play in there. So take the thrust washer off. That'll need a clean. It's not bad actually, but we'll give that a clean. And under here are your thrust bearings, and they all look okay. Give them a bit of a visual. That's all nice and clean down there. Now, can I take the bearings out with a magnetic screwdriver? Because I'd like to get them out. Yeah. You should have 5 of these bearings, and they're all nice and clean. The whole thing's as dry as a bone. So once we've got the bearings out, we don't have to pay too much attention to it then. Once the bearings are out, we can move it about, because we know we ain't going to lose them. Well, there's one just dropped, but it's on the bench. So I'll just put my hand under there in a minute and get that one back. It's rolled out onto the bench here. Well, I'll say it has. There it is. So we'll jump onto the screwdriver. Now, underneath here we should have a couple of screws. That will allow us, there should be 2 screws, might be only one on this one. Yeah, there's only one on this one. Some of them, the older ones have 2 screws on them. So what we do, we take our screw removing implement, and that weren't very tight, no wonder it moved. Withdraw the screw, not all the way I don't think, I think it only has to come so far. There we are. And there's another thrust washer under there, so you don't want to pull it right out, because you want to leave it so the washers are in. It should come out and leave the bearing carrier behind. There we are. And the way you gauge it is you just look for a mark. We'll give all this a clean as well. The spindles, if I remember rightly, the centre spindles, if I remember rightly, don't come out of these. I'm pretty sure they're a press fit. Now we can get the bearing carrier out, which is that bit that's just fell out of the bottom, which is just a piece of paxolin really. And then, is that a thrust washer or is it built in? It's a thrust washer, along with another rubber washer below that, and we take these off, separate them, and there we go. And that there is another screw. It should come out a bit further, but it doesn't. That's supposed to hold it in as well. So why there's only one? I knew there was 2 screws, but why is one of them butted right up against there and not even doing anything? That one there doesn't even come all the way through, and it should. That should. Has it gone through now? No, it's not long enough. So for some reason there was a screw put in here that weren't even long enough. So what we'll do, we'll see if we get that out. There we are. Take that out. It's difficult. Let's use a smaller screwdriver. Long and thin. Because you only need a big screwdriver to nip them up. We'll take this one out of here. And that isn't even doing anything, that screw doesn't even hold anything in place. Now, see if we can get the magnetic screwdriver to lift that out. Because I have got a proper long one that should be in there. It's supposed to have 2 screws, that's why there's no play in it, because it's moved down because it was only held in with 1 screw. There we go. There we go. Nowhere near the right length. And it's not a case that it fucking, you know, because that's not holding anything. So what we'll, because it just goes through the body of it here, and it's supposed to grip. So what we'll do, we'll get our spares deck and see if we've got the appropriate size screw. We've got some cartridge connectors on here, which we're going to need, that's good. So we'll clip them off while we're here, because we need the cartridge connectors. So that's always good to have those. I mean, we only have 3, but there's 1 already on there, so that's the cartridge connectors. Right, so let's get the main thing we came here for, and that's our screw from our central spigot. See, this has got 2 screws in it. I'll only take 1 out. 1 is shorter than the other, but should still go through further. Let's check the length of this one. That one. That's way longer, which is what we want. Yeah. What's happened is this has a little pip on it, and what's happened is, if my thinking serves me correct, that little pip goes into the centre spindle. That little pip goes into the centre spindle. Put the spares deck back there. Now what's happened is at some point, probably, let's have a look at this screw, it's exactly the same with the exception, and you can see, look, it's exactly the same screw, it's the same length, but you can see and feel it there. Actually, you can feel it there. So if I bring that one in, there's no pip on it, it's been broke off, and this one's got the little pip on the top for it to engage, and that, I presume, goes into that little hole there. That goes into there, look, and it holds that. That goes into there. Yeah. It goes into there. And that's how it goes, and it's supposed to be tightened up with 2 screws. But these centre spindles don't come out. I think you can get them out, but I generally don't. I just give them a clean. So we want the IPA for this job. Right, so man, you don't even need the IPA. There's no fucking crap on any of this. It's all bone dry. Every bit of it is bone dry. And do you know something? There's not even any wear on any of these thrust washers. There's no wear on them at all. I mean, they normally develop a groove in them, but there isn't. And check this thing here, make sure that can move freely, which it can. I mean, there's no wear on any of this. This has been used, and then when it's been finished with, it's been stored, which is what we like to see. So what we can do here, because we've got no wear, there's no wear on it, we can put that back in. Yeah, because your little pip comes through there and locates. Yeah. Yeah. So what we'll do next, we can put the thrust washers back in. Well, we can when I don't drop the bastards. There's me magnetic screwdriver. There we go. Pop that one back onto there. Make sure we're central. We are. That's good. And to doubly make sure we're central, there we go. Let's get the grease. And what we do with the grease, what I generally do with it, a little on the brush, put a little bit around the bottom of the bearing carrier, only a little bit, because some goes on the top as well. There we go, bit of grease on that. Pop that back on. Yeah, this could be easier said than done. No matter how many times you fucking do it. Oops. We're moving the thrust washers as well. There we go, get that as centered as possible. There we are. Then all we do is we put the spigot back in wherever I've put it. Had it in my hand a minute ago. Where have I put the fucking spigot? There it is. We put the spigot back in because we can get the other thrust washer on with the gear in the way. So we'll put the spigot back in, it holds everything nice and still and central, and there we go. And we can line all that up once it's in. We're in the pretty much the right position there for the centre spindle, because it has to be there, about there-ish. Now all we do, we get a bit of grease on our brush, Just go round the bearing carrier, a bit more than that, because this has got to go another God knows how many years before it gets serviced again, and who knows, it might never get serviced again. I mean, I don't know, while Phil owns it I think it will, but after that you don't know, do you? So we've got enough grease on there now, so now we can start to put our ball bearings back in. And there's the first one. You would try getting ball bearings off a magnetic screwdriver. It's difficult. So what we do, we get a little tool, put the ball bearing in the hole, lift it off, and there we're in. And we should have 5 of these ball bearings. I can only see 4, there's the other one. And that one has decided to attach itself to the spigot. Wow, get in. There we go. Turn it a little bit so we can see the rest of them. Get this one that's hiding here. We have to start looking for the holes now because they've got grease on them. There we go. Wipe this grease off the tool. We don't want 2 ball bearings at once. Turn that round. Pop that one into that hole. Why does he get a fucking itchy nose when you do something like this? Yeah. Bloody hell. That was a bit of a tickly cough there, folks, I'm afraid. Get in. I remember I got stopped by the police years ago, says to the copper, I said, I'm not fucking speaking to you. He says, why not? I says, fucking speaking to you is like having oral sex. One slip of the tongue, you're in the shit. Yeah, fucking is though, innit? Yeah. Yeah, one slip of the tongue, you're in the proverbial, I suppose, yeah. Yeah. Pop the top thrust bearing on. That should drop down past that gear. It came up past it. There we go. Right, and this one. What I like to do on these, I like to give it a coat of oil and a coat of grease as well, because it thins, because the grease, because the oil I use is very thin. Let's get a bit of grease on these teeth. Just lubricate them a little bit and get the fucking dog hairs off. How do I get dog hairs into me fucking pot of grease? Look at that. Big dog hair in my fucking pot of grease. We'll give that a bit of a coating. There we go. Take off the excess because you don't need any more than that. And I'll put the oil down there. Clean all this off, obviously. I'll put the oil down there. As when I'm ready for it now. Are we down there? Are we down there where we need to be? Are we on the thrust bearings? Yeah, we are. We're on the thrust, but that's a lot better. So what I'll do now, I'll put the clip back on. It'll stop all that falling apart. I can put all this as it needs to be. Straight and level. Just wipe off the excess grease. Alright. You know why us men have a hole in the end of our dick, don't you? It's to allow oxygen to the brain. That wire's doing my head in because strands of it keep sticking in my chest through my shirt. Then what we do is we push our clip back into place. It's pretty much the same way we took it off, if we can. I mean, we have to, it has to go back on, there's no two ways about that. Whoops. Try and do without scratching everything. There's probably a proper tool for this, but I don't possess one. So I just do that, and there we go, the clip's back in. Now all I need to do is turn it the other way up, because I can now without the worry of the bearings falling out. Whoops. Turn that so that now I need to lock that into place there. I'd say that's about right. And any fine adjustments can be made. So what we'll do, we'll put the screws in. Start with the first one. If we can see the fucking head, there it is. There we go. Now, let's see if the spindle works. It should move in and out. That is a mission to turn without a turntable on it when your hands are all greasy. Right, well, we're not quite in position. So why are we not in position? Because that just slacken that screw back off. And I think that's about right, actually. No, it ain't. So let's turn the gear. We want to go anti-clockwise. turn the, let's get it engaged. Right, well, we're not fully in there because we have to drop in. That pulls in. That's pulled in there. It's supposed to face that way. Just and that's nice now. That's not binding now. Got a little bit of play in that now, which is what I want to see. Whoops. So that moves in, it pushes in. So that pushes in. I like to just make sure everything's right. So it needs to go about there. That's it. That's it, it's perfect. Now let's check the play without moving any of that. There we go. I want a little bit of play. I'd say about that. So if I hold that, well, I should have to hold it, it should stay. Turn that now. And just adjust this for the play. If it's too much, take a bit off. You don't want it pressing down on your thrust bearings. But there again, you don't want your bearings in a position where they can pop out either, so let's take a little bit off that. And we've turned slightly. Yeah. That's perfect. Push that. That's it. That's exactly where I want it. Tighten that fully up. That's it. Got a bit of play in there now, because you want a bit of play, and that's perfect. Goes in and out like it should. Now we'll get our replacement screw with the little knobble on the bottom, on the end of it. This is going to be some fun. Who wants to watch a big fat man try and put a fucking screw in a very difficult screw in a very difficult place? I don't know where the other part of the screw is. It's probably fucking inside the record player somewhere. These screwdrivers all need redressing. Now I just know that ain't going to stay on there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and use the magnetic screwdriver. Mind you, is this fucker magnetic? It should be. Not very. But they're supposed to be fucking pretty good, these, for the price. Where's the fucking hole? That's the thing. So once you get it in the hole, you're okay. There's a little knob will hold it while you get a small screwdriver on it then. There we are. Hey, hey! Check that goes in and out like it should. Yeah. Check our play. Yeah. And we shouldn't be all the way in with that screw. Now what we'll do, we'll just give it an extra turn just to make sure that we're in enough. There we go. That's it. Right, that's basically the top surface, serviced. That motor, although it is nice, it could do with a bit more. And the good thing about these is you don't have to take them apart because they've got little oil holes on them, so you can just actually oil them. Yeah, you can oil these, you don't have to take the fuckers apart. Because there's a little fucking thing on it somewhere that says oil. And you drip the oil in. Or at least it is on fucking some of them. Watch me get one that hasn't got it. There it is. Just drip the oil through there. And it finds its way into the bearing. A big fucking difference already. I ain't even done the top one yet. A bit more in. Oops. Give it a drink. Get plenty in because you don't know when it's ever going to get another one. Oh, that's a lot better. That felt a bit, didn't feel too terribly good that a minute ago. Let's just check this roller here. All the rollers on this are lovely, you know. It's a nice mechanism. It's one of the better ones. I've seen some fucking rubbish ones, to be honest. There we go. That's nice and free there. So do the top one. If I can get into the top one. I'm hoping I don't have to take the fucking motor out to do it, because I should be able, if I put it on the cotton bud, saturate the cotton bud with the oil, there we go, and then just while I'm at it. It doesn't matter about getting contaminated on that turntable because it ain't going to be used again. Let's get a bit of oil down the centre of this spigot. It will go down. There we go, because there is the tiniest of gaps. So that will find its way down there. That will find its way down there over the course of time. Within, there we go, that's nice that. And we've got a little bit of play there. I like a bit of play because the turntable needs to be able to move. This part here you don't lubricate. We'll get a little bit of, get a bit of oil on the idler shaft. Give that a bit of oil. The idler shaft. That's lovely. That's what we like to see. There we away for a minute, because we do need, really, we need to get oil into the bearing on the, into the bearing on the arm. And this is full of ball bearings, this. We need to get oil into them. So the best way I can come up with for that is the same way as I did the rest of it. A bit of oil. In fact, I can put a bit of oil in the turntable, can't I? Because we're not using this turntable. There we go. I can just pick up what I need there. Get it into the there. Is there two lots of bearings in this? I'll soon know by looking at the base of the other one. No, one lot of bearings in it. Good enough. Good enough. And yeah, the bearings are all in the top here. Just not completely happy with that. What I'm going to do, because I'll give it another clean before it goes together anyway, I'll just drop a little bit of oil down there. Oops. Just oiled myself. There we are. That's good enough. Put the top on the oil for a minute. Probably need that again in a minute. Let's get the cloth. Wipe off the excess. There we go. Here, I've just oiled myself. I said oiled, not soiled. Let's not be getting this wrong. I oiled myself, not soiled myself. Let's make sure we get that right. Or you lot thinking of shit myself. Because I know how my viewers take things. There we go. There. Don't want to put that near that turntable. That's our nice fresh one. Oh yeah, we've got a lovely. Get that down there. There we go. Lock the arm. Oh. Lock the arm down. Oh. Hang on a minute. Oh. There's another Donald for you Americans. We know you like them. Right. Well, that. Actually, it's actually looking very good. But what I want to do next is, I always do it, a little bit of grease on the control arm. Some people call it the overarm, but it's actually the control arm. Well, it's not so much a control arm on these, the control arm is actually here. But this is actually the control arm on these, but I still call it the control arm because you could say I'm setting me ways, I suppose. There we go. Get a bit on here, a in there so it moves around nice and easy. We're not binding. Oh, that's lovely now. Perfect. Wipe the excess off. You know, that's a bit how you're doing. So what we'll do, we'll grease all the joints. Basically you just put a bit of grease, not slap it on, but put a bit in various places where levers connect and stuff. That's it. Look at that, it falls back down now. A bit on here, a bit down there. Perfect. Yeah. Then that'll do. Right. Bit on here. Bit on down here. Just put a bit of grease in places, you see, where various levers and stuff connect, and just makes it easier for the operator, for the mechanism to work better. You know, you don't have to, you know, the only places you don't grease is really where the velocity trip mechanism is, because that needs to be as free as possible. A bit on there, a bit down into there. It's all a bit as dry as a bone. There we go, and that'll pull it through as it goes round. A bit down there. Let's have a look at the speed mechanism. The speed change, let's give that some grease, which is here. I mean, I'm not cleaning the old grease off, but the reason why is there's none to clean off. This thing's dry as a bone, it's not bad. I mean, I've had them where they've been completely gunked up, but this is lovely, this one. Now, let's get to, let's just push the centre of that down to get a blob of grease up. There we go. Now, I mean, that all works really nice, but you don't want it dry. That idler pivot moving. Oh, the idler pivot's seized up, look at that. Oh no, it ain't. No, it's not. Get a bit there. A bit on here. Anywhere really where anything moves. Oh, that works beautifully, that. Bit on there. Get the dog hair. What do you get dog hairs into your fucking grease? Well, I'm more than happy with that. Get that fucking circlip out of the grease, otherwise I'll wonder where it's fucking gone. Put the top back on the grease. Put the brush back over here, out of the way. Go. Right. Let's give it a wipe. got the idler to do. Well, I'll do that after because I want to have a bit of breakfast and another brew. Get brewing some brekkie, I think. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put the turntable on, and I'm going to run it through its automatic cycle. It'll have to come back off again for the idler to go on. So we'll turn that on. There we go. Look at that. The turntable brakes on these are shit. I hate that clang it makes, but there we go. All the speeds change nicely. So what we'll do now, we'll try the automatic mechanism. Put that over. Make sure that that doesn't catch the arm. And it should start by switching off. It has. So if I now there we go. Yeah, that all seems to work. Oh, I didn't get that time. It might not go over. Nope. There we go. That should do it. It should go over. Yep, that's the 7-inch position. And then when the arm gets to the end, 12-inch end position. That should go back there like that and shut the deck off. Clip that back down. See what I mean? I only just had that on and they don't take long before they stick like shit to a blanket. Right, so it's just, you don't need any lubricant on here because this rotates. This all needs to be cleaned now because I've obviously contaminated all that. But the next job on the agenda will be the idler, and this idler's pretty bad, to be honest. It's got a dent in it there. Let me have a look in me idlers, see if I've got one that's better than that one, because that's got a little dent in it. Have a look, see if I've got one in the drawer. Oh, actually there might be one in the top drawer here. There's one, and it's actually better. It's the same idler. It's exactly the same. Yeah, it's exactly the same idler. Yeah, it's exactly the same, and it hasn't got any dents in the side of it. It's nice. Just needs a bit of a roughen up, that's all. So we'll redress this idler with rubber renew. We can actually do that now because I think I've just got something stuck in my foot. Yeah. Do you know, I hate the sight of blood, especially mine. Got a bit of wire stuck in my foot. Put the grease brush while I'm at it back in the grease, back in the brush tub. There we go. And this is the rubber renew, and this stuff fucking stinks. and it's fucking lethal. So if you're using it, use it in a well ventilated area. Right, let's find the part of the cloth that's clean. That'll do. I use this sparingly. The reason why, it's fucking expensive. It's about £11 a bottle. So look at the way it takes the shit off though. It just cuts through it. But when you use this stuff, folks, always wash your hands afterwards. Because when I say it's fucking lethal, I mean it's fucking lethal. And what I'll do, I'll let that soak into the rubber. You heard that? It's starting to squeak. Sounds a bit like Warby's wallet. I shouldn't slag him off really, Warby. He can't help being a tight bastard. What it does, it feeds the rubber. Look at that. That's what's off that idler. Oh, that feels good, that now. Right, just checking for shiny bits. Shouldn't be any. No. That's good stuff, that rubber renew. Put the fibre washer back on the bottom. Try not to get any contaminants on the idler. So, oh, let me just clean the motor. Where's that patch I was just using for the idler? Don't know the fucking cloths. The cloths that are fucking dirty, it's hard to fucking work out. That weren't it. But that'll do cleaning the motor, just clean the pulley really. And I'll clean the turntable driver in a rim of the turntable as well. To be safe. There we are. That's good enough. Now let's put this cloth out of the way because I don't like touching anything plastic. Keep this stuff away from anything plastic because it will fuck it up. Yeah, that's a nice idler that actually. Gone nice and supple again, which is what we want to see. You don't want your idler to be stiff, you know. Put the clip on. Go. Give the drive drum a quick wipe. Just for any contaminants. There we go. Pop on our turntable. Switch the mechanism on so the brake moves out of the way. Look at that. Right. Shift my shit. Put my clip on. I mean, you do actually get the odd scratch when you're putting the clip back on. I mean, it's unavoidable really. You know, this one's... Come on, you fucker. There we go. I mean, it should go on. It's the same fucking turntable. Made by the same company on the same fucking machines. Bloody hell. There we are. Whoa, that's a fucking tight one, that. Partly because I can't get the fucking screwdriver down in the way. Wow, that's tight, that fucker. Lift that clip off again. Are we actually seating into... Yeah, we're seating into the groove. Yeah. We're in the groove, so it should clip on. It came off. Yeah, we're getting there. There we are. Okay, now that took some doing, didn't it? There we go. We're in. Well, that took some getting in, but we're on. So let's test it for. Let's put it to see if we can find some place where it's in neutral. There we are. And it stops dead when you spin it backwards. That's a good idler, that. To actually spinning the idler and look at that on 16. Yeah, that's good. I'm happy with that. All I need now is the mat. And look at the state of that mat. It's gross. But in a few minutes we'll have it looking like new. A bit of detergent on it. The good thing about the turntable mats is they've got grooves in them, so the fucking detergent doesn't fucking... But I want to be careful, I don't want to rip the mat, obviously. So I've got to rewire the cartridge. That needs to be done. Get the other part of the cloth, part that's clean. Needs another clean, that, but for now, it does need another clean, but for now. Right, so we get the eggshell. Where did I put the eggshell? There it is. Make sure the eggshell's as clean as the rest of it, which is not bad. Lovely silver Garrard sign on the top of it. Clean that off so it slips on nice and easy. Lift the locking lever up. Lock the eggshell into place. Move the IPA because it's letting the side down, it's in the way. Right, put this rubber renew over here, it can be put back out of the way in a minute. There we go. And what we'll do now, we'll find a power lead, power it up like I always do. If we can find a power lead, that is. If I can't, then I'm not really minded about powering it up, to be honest, because I know it'll work. I mean, I've just serviced the fucking thing. I don't know where my power lead is. Never mind. We don't need to power it. But it does need a bit more clean on that mat. But let me zoom in. Zoom in. Where's me? Lift you up. Hang on, we're going down. Hang on. That's right. Come over a bit. There we are. Let's get rid of that. Get that air off it. Let's turn that round. And there, folks. Especially Phil in particular, what do you think about that? Yeah, the turntable could do with a bit more cleaning, but look at that. Is that a mark on it, or is that the light shining on it? I don't fucking know. I think that's a mark in it, in the rubber. I can't, do you know, so there's a mark in the rubber there. Well, there it is. But you know, I couldn't see that. I couldn't see that with the fucking eye. But there again, the mat needs a bit more work to get it nice and clean and looking good. But look at that. Let's turn that off. Let's put it back on again. Let's put it into a position in between speeds so the idler's not engaged. And look at that. That is nice, and it will get better the more it runs because the lubricants have to all bed in, and we've got that little bit of play because you can lift the turntable just slightly. I like that because the reason why I know that play should be there is because when you come to get the turntable off, you have to lift it a little bit and it lifts up, and they all do. So you can tap the centre spindle with the hammer, and it breaks the taper on the turntable in order if it lets you remove it. But there's the top, which is the bit that's going to be seen, and then we'll have a look at the bit that doesn't get seen, which is underneath. Well, let's just lock the tone arm down. There we go. And that's underneath. Look at that. There you go, look at that. That is nice. Lovely, beautiful, sorted. Anyway, oops, there we go. Let's put that back there. And I can now go and wash my hands and have my breakfast. And I was going to do 2 parts to this video, but it looks like it's going to be 3 because this one's dragged on long enough, so I'm going to make it a 3-parter. The next part you'll see the deck go in and it play a record. Well, you won't see it going, I'll just put it in and it'll be playing a record. So join me for part 3. And look at that turntable, doesn't it shine? Look at it. No corrosion on it. Not like the old wreck that came off. This is all nice and clean. I mean, these decks, I mean, when they made these, they really did put a nice layer of paint on them. You know, and it really does gleam. You know, once you've cleaned them, they really do gleam. They are a really nice deck. Once these are working, you know, once these particular... Oh, let me just show you with a couple of records. Let's just see if we can find a couple of fucking singles knocking about. Because I always like to show you before I fully... what do you call it, don't I? There's a couple up there. Just grab a couple of these, and what we'll do, we'll just stick them on and manually operate it. Let's get a couple of these. Yeah, we don't need too many of them. That'll do. There we go. I mean, I've not looked at the set down point or anything yet. That'll all be done when it's back in the player. So we'll put them on there. The speed's immaterial, it's in between speeds. There we go. Lift that up so it's sort of nearly level. Put my finger there, my thumb there. It automatically, on these, it automatically releases the arm release when you switch the machine on. There we go. Goes across like it should. Drops the record. Comes off. Let's do it the other way. Drops the next one. To be honest with you, the set down point on that I don't think is even out. There we go, look at that. Perfect. Get to the end. Record finishes. It knows there's no more. It turns it off. Thank you very much for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed. This part of the video, and we're all done with this now. We've just got to put it back in the case, but I want to clean the case before I do, and clean the amplifier controls and stuff. Not that they need cleaning. There was no noise on them when I turned them yesterday, so we're all right there. I mean, when I say clean them, I just give them a little clean, and yeah, you know, I can't believe. Do you know? I've done loads of these decks over the years. Even before I started doing YouTube videos, I've done loads of these, and you know, it never ceases to amaze me how clean. I mean, how clean they actually come up. In all the years I've been doing this, I've only ever come across a couple of these decks that have been really scabby. And lock the arm down again for safety. Oh, I've got to do this, haven't I? Got to do the... Yeah, because that doesn't turn properly. You have to exert quite a bit of force on that to get it to turn, so we need to do that, but just quickly do that now. Just quickly do that now. Right, let's have a look where the particular part of the mechanism is that deals with that, which is there. And all we do is we just get a cotton bud, pour a bit of oil into there. That old turntable, I mean that turntable, I'll probably keep that actually just for putting bits and oil and stuff in and when I'm working. And that now, let's try that, because what it will do, it will work the oil one way. Yes. Let's put it on its rest, I can't really get to it. That's all the way that way. We're still struggling that way a bit. Oh no, we're all the way. Yeah, we're all the way. So that screws all the way that way. That's getting there now. Oh yeah, that's screwing all the way that way. There we go. That should be all the way forward, which it is. And this I can never remember which way is forward or back. It's got to come back this way to wind it out. No, that's backwards. Is it? So that's forwards, and that's brought it all the way up to the thing, so that's all the way down to the bottom. And what we'll do, we'll put a bit more oil down there on the thread. Yeah, that's really light now, that. That's as far as you can go back. So what we'll do, we'll put a bit more oil down there. And what we'll do, as we wind the screw out, we'll hold the cotton bud on and it will pick up the oil. And it will just oil the threads. That's all it is, just a bit stiff. There we go. Now, let's try that with the arm down. It should do it with the arm down as well as it up, I think. So let's put the I think you have to hold the arm up to do it. This is a fucking nuisance. It's not usually like this. Usually it takes a second to do this, but it's turning. Let's try and get a bit down here. Try and get a bit down the back of it. There we go. See if there's any sort of link. Oh, let's try and get a bit on here. Have a look at where the linkage is. Try and get a bit on the linkage here. Just a bit there. Because it should be able, you should be able to wind that up or down with the arm on its rest. That's fully forward and dirty in the arm and all, look at that. And that should be fully back. Let's have a look. Yeah, not far off. Go back further than that though. I mean, once it all works in, it'll work beautiful. There we go. Well, it doesn't help that I'm pressing out, does it? Because what happens is the stud comes out the back. There. The stud comes out the back. We're pretty much all the way back now, but I want to be all the way back. There we go. It's as far back as we can go. And let's just get the slight bit of oxidisation just on there. So what we'll do, we'll give that a bit of a mop up there. Let's try that. That's winding in lovely now. But will it wind back out again? That's the fucking issue. It's only fucking build up a fucking little bit of oxidisation just on the thing. That's all it is. I mean, that's a lot better. I mean, once I've set it, there. Once I've set it, it'll never have to be done again. Anyway, so are we all the way back? Yeah. I mean, once I've done it, it'll never. I mean, that's way too light anyway. But once I've done it, let's give the armour. Let's give this a bit of a wipe here now. There we go. Get these hairs off. Now let's wind this back down. That's fully up. And wind it in. It's coming in nice and easy now. That I think it takes a bit more effort to get it out anyway, because you know you're exerting pressure against the spring. I mean, it's never going to be that light anyway, but you're exerting pressure against the spring. So, but when the arm's up, it's easier to do it. Ooh, I've gone too far there, have I? Ooh, yeah. That's gone a bit far, but actually tightened the fucker. Look at that. I've actually tightened it. There we go. I've actually tightened it. That's it. There we go. So you're coming back, there's no problem. Well, that's not bad. That at least it does adjust now. I mean, before it didn't even adjust. So, you know, it's just there we go. That's got it. I'll give all this a good wipe. Now wind that back in. Ooh, there we go. I mean, it winds in okay. Just a bit of an effort getting it, winding it out. Winds in perfectly. Well, it's winding out now. Yeah, it's going now. It's got it. Yeah, we just. I mean, yeah, I'd say that's about right actually. Yeah, because you don't want it too loose, because you don't want the weight of the arm. You don't want the. You don't want to pick up sort of like. You know. You don't want the weight moving about on its own, so you want a bit of resistance, but. I mean, there was a bit of resistance and a bit of fucking resistance. That fucking took the biscuit. But I mean, once I've set it up for him, he shouldn't have to touch this anyway. There we are. And that's it, folks. I'm going to do a part 3 because this part 2's gone on long enough. And we've got the... I can't believe how lovely that is. Look at it, you can see the shine in it, it's beautiful. The mat's nice and clean. It does need another fine polish, but you know, there we go. Join me later for part 3. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.